Hi guys, welcome to today's video. In today's video, we'll see Hungary and Romania go to war. And to begin, Hungary declares war on Romania. Why? I don't know. But before we continue, let's look at where there's mountains. And where are there mountains? Well, this area is mountainous. And let's continue. Well, all of Transylvania is a mountain. And let's go to another thing. Demographic. A bit. So there's a lot of Hungarians in this area. For some reason. It's not that big, but in that region. And well, let's look at capital locations. Because that can be a big part of deciding. And as the capitals have been placed on the map. No, this is where Bucharest is. Budapest, think it's pretty well where I got it. And we can leave the capitals, but I think they'll come back in handy when, well, the wars come and continue. And then we have another thing to think about. World fighting power. Romania's world ranked number 54, although these rankings mean nothing. Hungary is 54, Romania is like 48 or something. Yeah, Romania is stronger than Hungary, but that means nothing. And now let's go to the war. And I did say Hungary declared the war, so if you declare the war, you attack first. Generally, as Hungary enters in. And yeah, they invade. But a party to quickly enter is Moldova. And just to make this video interesting, let's throw Transnistria in. To Hungary's side. Because we can. But this is a war. So let's let it begin with Transnistria making some advances. While Moldova then pushes them back. And takes out the part of Transnistria closest to their capital. But somebody's not happy about this. With Serbia joining the war, which leads to Kosovo and Albania picking a side. Which for some reason Croatia picks a side. Montenegro picks a side. Greece decides to pick a side. Well, it appears Macedonia and Bulgaria are going to try to be as neutral as can be. And well, Turkey decides to join the war. And yeah. And Bosnia fractures. And yeah. So basically, it joins the war like this. On two sides. He has a split in half. With Srpska ready. Wait, Srpska is ready. And yeah, this is a bit dark of a color. And yeah, well, they start their advance. And well, Greece starts an advance too. And well, Serbia overwhelms the Bosniak area of Bosnia. But Hungary and Croatia launch an offensive into northern Serbia. And luckily for Hungary, they're on both sides of the... What's the river called? The Danube. The Danube. Well, it doesn't look good for Hungary. But for some reason, Macedonia gets attacked. For some reason. This war has escalated a lot. With Turkey launching a few offensives onto a lot of Greek islands. But they don't advance far. They may have thought this might be most of the war, but more nations, of course, decide to join. And while Poland just stays neutral, basically. As well, unless they have a reason to join, they're not going to join. And well, it turns out somebody's supporting these guys, but I'm not sure what help they'll do. I'm not sure what help they'll get from this escalation. But yeah, it just escalates. That's what wars. Transnistria makes an advance into Ukraine somehow, to there. They eventually turn themselves into like this. But at this point, it's a point where Romania is not doing so well. With Hungary crossing the border into Ukraine. This is where Poland chooses a side. And well, Belarus decides to join a side. And just like that, it has become a big war. With these two staying out, because, well, they should. And well, this is how much the war escalates. And well, a lot of countries that stay neutral, it's hard to just pick a side. Like here, I think they can be neutral, but maybe we can give supporting sides. But I know for a fact that if Russia is in this war, all of Eastern Europe will join. It's just the way it works. Well, now Croatia support it. This is just as the conception of who's ally broken again. With Greece and Serbia opening a frontier. With Serbia taking out Kosovo. Actually, this war, I don't think Russia would get involved in. But maybe they would. Who knows? With the world these days. What's going to happen? With Russia launching an offensive into Georgia. Along with Turkish forces who come out from the south. But, yeah. This kind of seems like an odd war. I can understand the side Croatia's on, but I don't really get this war so far. Yes, there's a lot of tensions between Croatia and Serbia. Now, the side Russia's on is just completely weird. It just breaks your perception of the West. With Russia getting back into the Kherson area somehow. And doing this somehow, I don't know how they did it. Maybe it's because they're at war with multiple nations and now, well, aid has to go to more places. With Russia launching an offensive in Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia saying it'll be easy. And well, they do this. They take the Savasky Gap, I think that's what it's called. Savasky, whatever the gap is called. with Russia saying, yeah, we can take Finland on, and they advance into Finland, but they advance in multiple places. But unfortunately, it's December 2023 now. And yeah, this war's time has gone by. Videos where, like, say, one side gets the upper hand first, usually the side that starts it. Usually the weaker side gets the first upper hand. But sometimes it's not. With Belarus starting a campaign, and these forces basically get 90% blown up by mines, somehow. And then these forces go in. Well, it's not as bad as the 99% getting blown up in that region. Don't know why. Just don't. It's not like Bosnia has a bunch of mines. With Zaporizhia somehow falling, and Donetsk. This will never happen. Now I can see how unrealistic this video is. But with Finland initiating their act of total defense, basically. And they test it out up there. And then they test it out over here. And then they test this out over here to see how good their systems are working. But it appears they're not working perfect, as Russia is able to hold land in this region for some reason. But this is also where Russia is most skilled and best for it. Although Russia barely has any skilled forces now. This is basically not going to happen, I can tell based on some fronts. But I forgot one thing. France would likely be involved at this point. And I'm trying to keep it mostly in Europe, as you can tell, probably. I don't want to escalate it too much, because sometimes when I escalate it a lot, I make it too long. And yeah, usually I won't be recording on Tuesdays, but it kind of didn't have plans this Tuesday. So basically, yeah. This Tuesday, I didn't end up being busy. Mostly because it was snowy, but that's another thing. And yeah. With Turkey making it all the way to Moldova. And well, the Black Sea is completely controlled by the Red Team. But Poland launches an offensive to try to kick Hungary out of Slovakia. This is how well it goes. With Polish forces starting to enter Europe, along with French forces finally making it, and they push back Turkey. Now, I don't know how Turkey was so slow advancing. Just don't. I'm not managing to meet up here with Hungarian forces. Yeah, with Finland making Russia retreat. And then this spirals into a forced retreat in Estonia and Latvia, which they were basically kicked out of. I say basically, because they were. And yeah, let's look at who wasn't supposed to be a main player in this, with Ukraine and Poland launching an offensive into Belarus. This spills into their own borders, too. With Poland doing this. And then, well, Ukraine just does this to Belarus. And basically decides to do this to Russia. And well, yeah. With Kaliningrad becoming defended. And yeah, with Finland capturing some of their old territories. And well, they still continue in. As they cut off the roadway access to the Kola Peninsula. And well, all of Russia's WMDs that are in this region are taken over by the blue team. Well, Russia's in a bad spot, as they don't want to lose now, but they will. Yeah. With a Zaporizhian offensive happening. And then a Khersonian and Odessan one. And while Moldova starts to get re-liberated, with Hungary taking its last push for the rest of Transylvania. And they don't even take half of what they were aiming to take. With French forces finally arriving in bulk. Well, Transnistria just is like left with everyone else's forces, which Transnistria is quick to end up being pushed the other way. Which, I mean, is not the right way to get pushed in a war, with Belarus getting pushed back. With Russia trying to hold on to the Baltics, but Poland starts sending a huge number of forces along with France in. And well, some of the powerful nations are getting sent back. With an offensive in this region being basically stalled out. With Russia just backing out for peace. Well, basically, as they left for peace, we're going to represent them by a different color as they are at peace. But this war is nowhere near over. Well, not all of that, but yeah. I guess maybe keep the zone of this area that's not under Russian occupation there. With Hungary being the last goal, because everybody views them as weaker. And yeah. An attack on Turkey happens. Which may or may not be one of the last attacks. And yeah, they attack on 4 different fronts. And well, yeah. It goes well for them. As before Istanbul can be taken, Turkey decides to make the smart choice and surrender. They have more of their land occupied than Russia ended up with. Unfortunately. Croatia basically states they're ready to leave the war. And while them and Serbia meet over a possible Srpska being independent. Serbia, with all of the other people out of this war, the final part of this war happens. With a strategy of all sides to move in. But they don't move in fast as Hungary starts defending every inch of territory as well as they can. With the Ukrainian offensive managing to kick Hungary out of Ukraine. And in northern Slovakia, Hungary is pushed back. Within Vojvodina, some pushes are happening. Well, Hungary manages to get a stalemate over by Serbia, and after this they get a stalemate in southern Slovakia, with Ukraine entering into Romania. With a lot of Hungarians within Romania not being a bit oppressed. And yeah, that's just a bike going up my street, I guess. That loud noise. Hopefully you didn't hear it, but you might have. In case you did, that's what it is. With Hungary's not an inch back strategy kind of backfiring. As troop moralization is still pretty high, despite them losing now. But I guess you can tell why. With Serbia trying to get Croatia to join their side, which Croatia agrees. But Hungary knew this was about to happen, so they put forces in. But Croatia only helps them now because they want to be part of the victory. They want to get 2 victories. And yeah, this is all Hungary's able to occupy. But right here, Serbia and Croatia make an advance that get to their border. And well, Hungary is being slowly kicked out. And well, this is what it looks like. With the borders they push up on. With only being Hungarian lands in Croatia and Hungary, really, and Serbia occupied. With Croatia kicking them out. Followed by this, Poland kicks them out of Slovakia with Slovakia. And then French forces in Serbia and Romania push them back. And well, yeah. Yeah. With Hungary being completely kicked out of here. With me going slow in this invasion because approaching. Serbia starts an advance in. And well, Poland's goal is to put back in a government that's really pro-Hungary. Poland. Because, well, they dislike Russia. And somehow Hungary became pro-Russia. Don't ask me how. I don't know. With Ukraine's advance going well. And Slovakia starting. With Romania starting its advance. And well, the Ukrainian, Slovakian, and Romanian get unified along with us. With the war for Budapest breaking out. Budapest. With this front moving in, with all the fronts being united, but with multiple fronts. With the push towards Budapest going well, with Budapest being completely encircled, Budapest falls. And Hungary is told they can surrender now, but Hungary basically refuses. Hungary fights to the last drop of blood. Now that pretty much being said, Hungary is game over. With Hungary getting game over, Russia and Turkey. With Russia and Turkey getting some land out of Georgia, Russia somehow gets the Donbass region, but Ukraine gets a big chunk of Belarus. Poland does too, Lithuania, Latvia. Estonia gets nothing, sadly. Finland just gets bigger. And Russia's left weak. But they have some of the better lands, like Belarus. Because a radioactive area of Belarus, that's still pretty radioactive. Doesn't. Greece and Bulgaria annexed some land from Turkey. Turkey's still transcontinental, luckily for Turkey. Well, now, this was the Treaty of Moscow, guys. There's still the Treaty of Budapest and the Treaty of Belgrade. And the Treaty of Belgrade is being signed first. Treaty of Belgrade is between Albania, Kosovo, Macedonia, and the Blue Team. And countries that already leave the treaty tables. Who are already gone before and don't have to sign any more treaties. Are gone. With Poland and France still stuck because they're so powerful. And it will fair, in my opinion, because look at Albania. Left to die. But for some reason, a bunch of Serbian forces enter it right now. What happened to the Serbian puppet? In theory, it was independent, but I guess now in theory, it's definitely not independent. But now, let's go to the most important treaty of this war, which I hope you're all still here to see, the Treaty of Budapest. Yes, Budapest is still bringing Poland and Hungary back to good relations. But Poland throughout the treaty disagreed with most of the border changes, stating that it was unnecessary, and that Hungary should have just become a Polish puppet state. Ukraine gained land out of them, Romania, Serbia, Croatia. But Romania, who was in the war the full time and attacked by them for unprovocatively, says otherwise. As, why wouldn't you? If you were attacked, you would not say, yeah, I think you should keep your land. I don't think I should take land. Unless you're Denmark who says, yeah, I'll take land even though I didn't even fight. Wait, what? Yeah, explain that part of the Treaty of Versailles. How Denmark got land without fighting. That would be like if I said, hey, Czech Republic. If I said, hey, I mean more so Slovenia, want some of Hungary? Yeah, they didn't do anything. Yeah, doesn't mean that's not right. And yeah, because I'm talking about treaties that make no sense, yeah, let's do this. Let's give Slovenia that sliver of land, because we're going to be nice to Slovenia. And yeah, Slovenia is big again. And let's go to our next phase, the subscriber grab part. Please subscribe. Why? Because I said so. And subscribing helps this channel a lot, so please like and subscribe. And that's pretty much all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, share this video, leave a comment, any comment. All comments are good, as they bring engagement, I think. So please like and subscribe. That's all for today's video, pretty much. Wild Mapper.